ministry center back in September of last year, and I kid you not, her arms were this big. She was on the brink of death. Um, but through prayer and through finding the right doctors, she is getting so much better. She can walk now. She's healthy. She's even getting chubby. I tell her all the time she's gonna look like me pretty soon if she doesn't cut off on the McDonald's. But she's happy and she's growing and getting better. And I've gone to the doctor with her at least 2 dozen times now. And doctors here in the Philippines, they have public and private hospitals, and we go to the public hospital, the government run one, and we're waiting in. You just there's hundreds of people. We go and get in line, and you take a number, and often we're number 320 out of the day. So we're there from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. just waiting to see the doctor for 5 minutes. Anyways, I said I was gonna say be short, but that wasn't short. Um, her surgery was originally scheduled. We're going to have her hip surgery done. She's having a whole hip replacement at the age of 19. Um, Cherry's surgery was scheduled for April 14th, but we went to the doctor a couple days ago, and we knew this, but they had to test for it anyways. She has tuberculosis in the bone of her hip that's there now. So what they're going to have to do is they've postponed surgery for a month. It's May 10th, I believe. It's around there. And she's gonna have to start on TB medication that she'll have to take for a year. Just to, they need a month to get the medication started, so it doesn't infect the new hip once they put it in. So that's something that I've really committed a lot of my time to, and I can't wait to see Cherry get better. She's already gotten so much better. Um, she can walk with a walker. She's not in too much pain, so the fact that they delayed the surgery isn't a huge deal. But that's something that definitely is on the top of my prayer list, and I hope that if you're praying for things here in the Philippines for our ministry, that it's close to the top of your prayer list as well. That Cherry just continues to receive the care that she needs. She'll spend about a month in the hospital after she's had the surgery, so there'll be a lot of trips back to the hospital. We'll stay with her every night. It'll be another one of the Jazz girls and probably a volunteer from here staying there every night with her at the hospital. So it's been a long journey. It's gonna still be a very long journey to recovery, but God has had his hand over all of it. Uh, Her story just brings me to tears because of God's grace and the fact that you can make a difference. I can make a difference. God uses us in ways that you would never think. Did I think that I would come to the Philippines and end up driving to the hospital 20 times and making sure this little girl is taken care of? Never. But God takes your expectations and he crushes them and he makes something completely bigger. So, I'm off the pulpit. Let me get down. Continue to pray for that. Ask me about it. I love to share about Cherry. I love to share about all these things. And I can go on for another 15 minutes. And I probably will. So that's a big ministry that I'm working with and getting stuff done. Now, I always say I sound like a broken record, but the biggest problem, people say, Aaron, what's the hardest thing for you to do? And honestly, it's not deal with the poverty. I trust God in that. He shows us ways that we're taking care of it through our feeding programs, through our Jazz home, through our children's home, through our community projects, through building homes. God's taking care of that poverty one family at a time. Are you lonely there, Aaron? No, I'm not lonely at all. I live next to my best friend and his wife. I live with my other best friend here in this house. He's my roommate. I have a great family support from the director of our ministry. He's adopted me as one of his sons pretty much. I have dinner with him whenever I want. I'm over at his house. He's become a great father figure in my life. Now since my dad's not here, to have some older guy to tell me when I'm making a mistake here, when I need to focus on this, or if I'm going through some tough stuff, he's always there to talk to, and my friends are always here to talk to. So I'm not lonely. Do I miss home? Yeah, but I mean, this is slowly becoming home. I miss my family. I miss the church. I miss seeing all of you guys every Sunday. I miss your kids. That was rough. Is doing the summer internship and then turning around and moving to the Philippines. That was really rough. Um, so I really miss your kids, and I hope they're all doing well. And I'll be home soon for a visit. I'll get to that in a second. But one quick thing, and you might want to edit this out, Keith, and make it a completely separate video. But I want to talk about the Philippines mission trip that's coming up. So this is something that I've been praying about for a long time, to finally get some artesians, to get some bulldog blood over here to the Philippines, and show them that, we're here to help. So we have a team coming in the summer, and we're ready for you. I'm so excited that you're coming. We've talked about this before. We've had a meeting, but we're ready. I got you down on the calendar. We have opportunities ready for you to come serve. Keith and I are going to talk more specifically about if you're wanting to build houses, if you're wanting just to do general ministry and go on feedings and stuff like that. Your time here is short, so we're going to try to make the most of it. But we're ready. We're ready for you. We're ready for you to come and experience something that not a lot of people get to do. Not a lot of people get to see this kind of poverty. Not a lot of people get to see God work in such dire situations. So I'm very excited for you to come. I'm very excited for the church to be a part of our mission here in the Philippines. The harvest is great, but the workers are few. That's very true here. So to get more of you to partner with us and to see this country flourish, and to see our community, to see our children just get better, that's a huge blessing. I always tell people, they're like, man, you're really friendly to us, and the teams that I pick up, I love them. And it's simply because when someone comes and loves my kids, and I see them playing with my kids, and I see them caring for my kids and genuinely investing in their lives, I think it's the closest thing I can feel to being a parent. To see them come and invest in my kids, I'm gonna move mountains for you. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make it possible for you to stay here and you continue to do work here. So, for those West Maniacs that are coming to the Philippines, I'm gonna put you to work, and God's gonna break your heart for this country, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be sad, and you're gonna cry, and you're gonna laugh, and you're gonna do all that in the same night. You're gonna do all that in the same day. You're gonna cry, laugh, have fun, and we're gonna get work done, and you're gonna grow. I do want to preface it with that there's two kinds of people that come to this country to serve. They come either to be served or to serve. I don't want any of you to come to be served. I want you to come to serve. I want you to be ready. Have your hearts open to different things. Have your hearts open to, constantly changing schedules. Nothing is ever for certain. There's only one thing for certain in this country. One thing for certain. Nothing is for certain. Okay? So, get excited. Continue to do those fundraising things. That's a big part of being a missionary, and going on mission trips is fundraising. That's probably the hardest thing. So, continue. That was my door. It just slammed. It scared me. But anyways, continue to do that fundraising and share posts. Get excited. Get on that Facebook page that I just talked about, and let's share some stories. Let's get connected, because that's the biggest thing. We connect people, God's going to move mountains through people. So let's get as many people in on this as we can, church. Next, fundraising. That's something that I have to constantly talk about. I know I sound like a broken record, but that is something I constantly have to talk about. So, I set a goal of $1,000 a month to be able to stay here. That includes my rent, my bills, visa fees, emergencies, which, thank you again so much for helping with that. I would be home by now. Excuse me. I set $1,000 a month for all these things, and one of the biggest things is ministry costs. So I'm not gonna walk around and not be able to, help a kid get some food. If I'm out and about and there's a kid sitting outside the McDonald's or sitting outside the mini stop, the little convenience store, and he's asking for food, I can't just turn my head and walk away. We're here to serve kids. I mean, I always need some kind of pocket money to have in case of emergencies. So I set it. Like I said, I set $1,000 goal. Since I got here in September, I've been making ends meet at about 750, and that's money is money to me. Ministry money, my money is ministry money. I don't separate the two. I'm going to use my personal money that I made from working different jobs to get by here as much as I can. So I've been dipping into that for the past 6 months, and it's getting to the point where I am going broke. I am getting to the point where I won't be able to stay here much longer if I continue to only be making, anywhere from that $600 to $750 a month range. Now, I know times are really tough in Artesia, really tough in the States in general, and I know a lot of you have a lot on your minds and real financial worries on your minds. Take care of your families, of course. Take care of what you need to take care of. I'm not asking you to go without anywhere like that financially, but if you see the work that we're doing here in the Philippines, you see the lives that are being changed. If you see all that, and God is, working something inside of you that you're feeling something, please consider becoming a supporter. I can't stay and do what I'm doing here without you. I can't. I don't have the money. It's all going away, and it's going towards great things. It's going towards things that I don't waste money. I'm not here to live lavishly. I'm not here to, party it up or do anything like that. I'm here to serve, and unfortunately, the way the world works is you have to have money to do anything. So, I'm needing around $300 to $400 a month more, because I always put a buffer in there in case people have to drop out, because of course, like I said, the economy is horrible. So, I'm needing to increase my monthly funding. If you're interested in that, talk to the church office, or find me on Facebook, send me an email, do whatever you need to do. Maybe we can get some magic working and someone can put my email address right here. If not, then just ask them for it. I'm sure they'll give it to you. But yeah, please pray about it and know that the need is real. I wouldn't be asking if the need wasn't real. I wouldn't be asking if I didn't think that God had a lot planned for me here. But I really think he does. He's made the need completely evident through the girls' home. And another ministry I want to talk about, the boys. Now, the boys is very interesting because when I first came, it was evident to me that something needed to start for our community boys. There's always things for girls. So I had talked about, I started a Bible study for them. And we'd get, a solid 20 kids coming every week. But then I noticed that my roommate Sean here, he's swimming with them on Saturdays and Bible studies on Wednesdays, and Saturdays I'm with the girls. So I haven't completely let go of it, but I've handed it more to him because he's making those personal relationships on Saturdays, and so he's able to better connect with the boys on Wednesdays. Or I'm making the personal connections with the girls throughout the week, and I'm able to be more efficient with their Bible studies and with their growth than I am with the boys. Simply, he gets along a lot better with the boys than I do. So I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to try to, hold on to that ministry and be selfish about it. I'm going to let him take what I think God is asking him to take. So, if any of you have been wondering about our boys' ministry, Sean